You can't get over him because you feel like he owes you something because you built with him and he never fulfilled promises. So it's not him you can't get over, it's the promises that he made.
I think that's called a sunk cost fallacy, where after a certain point of you investing a lot into something, you feel like if you turn back, you waste all of the time that you've wasted.
You understand? The things that fooled you. It's the things that came out of his mouth that fooled you into thinking that he was going to give you something. Now you're sitting there feeling like you can't get over him when it's what he did and what he promised that you have not received yet. So you're leaving with less than you probably thought you were going to have, or you're leaving feeling like you're missing something. What you're missing is all those things that he lied about, that he never delivered. So it's not him you miss, it's just the false promises that you never got.
Well, the thing is that every man, then, you're gonna not believe in men because like men lie to you, men gave you promises and they didn't fulfill it. So over time, you start to develop an overall resentment for men. That's why this is my thing. Again, I like what Shira says, but it's just that, like, you're giving too much power to men by you got to rely on them to give you what you need. Like that's the only thing.
So think of it like that. It ain't him. It's what you never got. It's you feel ripped off. Basically, you feel ripped off.
One of the worst things you can do to your love life is feel bad for a grown man. Feeling bad.
The second you feel bad for a man is when you set yourself up to play every other role in his life: his therapist, his secretary, his mom. There is a huge difference between choosing to be with someone where you are both mutually growing and helping each other versus choosing to be with someone where you are constantly picking up the slack and giving as they are taking. If you were able to do the work to grow into a fully functional and responsible adult, then you should expect that your partner was also able to do the same thing. And I understand that we are all at different places in our personal growth journey, but that is why it is so important for you to figure out what your non-negotiables are and what you are willing to compromise on in a relationship.
Like, it's so important to know that. Oh, we know exactly what we want, but we have no idea of the things that we don't want. We have no idea of the things that doesn't make us happy, of the things that we're not willing to tolerate, because defining those things causes us to actually have standards, to actually have a backbone. It requires us to actually follow through on the things that we say. Like you can't just want things and not have any standards in your wanting. Your wanting has to come with standards. And the problem is that too many people want things at all cost. They have no barriers. They have no limits.
Stop building these men up and enabling them as they continue to drain you of your time, energy, knowledge, resources, and money. There is no amount of encouragement you can give a man who is not willing to proactively help himself, and it is not your responsibility to do so. At the end of the day, you are your number one priority, and no one is going to be able to protect you and your life the way that you will.
The more you do for.
If you wouldn't go to the car dealership and get a car that has no engine, no alternator, no catalytic converter, you're just going to buy.
Fuck, who taught her catalytic converter? Like, you could tell she just came back from the she just came back from the mechanic. The fuck out of here, man. How you know about catalytic converter? It's like a guy talking about masking and and foundation. Like, who taught you catalytic converter?
And then you're gonna, pay money to get the engine added, and then the alternator added, and the catalytic converter added.
Again with the catalytic.
You wouldn't do that, then why in the hell would you build a man? Like, honestly, why would you build a man? These are the same men saying that they built the world, but yet they want to have their hand out waiting for a woman to build them. And some of y'all are goofy enough to build them. You're building him for the next woman. What are you doing?
Hey, Hey, sometimes you need a village to raise a man. Shut the fuck up, Alexis. Shut the fuck up. This is not your time. Okay, okay. Sorry, Melissa. Sorry.
What are you doing trying to build some man? I want to help him with his credit. You know, I'm trying to help him get a job.
Girl, if you dating a man and he has bad credit, no amount of pum pum could raise up that credit. Bad credit is a sign of bad just managing skills. Seriously. Like the way you manage your money is how you manage your emotions. If you have no control over your emotions, you're gonna see it reflected on your bank account. Plain and simple, bar none. That's why, yo, like, y'all cannot be dating guys who have addictions to things like crack or like fucking alcohol and that kind of stuff because you you can't change people like that. Only they can change, and the likelihood that that person is gonna change is really low, even amongst addicts, right? So it's kind of like you want someone who has a clean slate, meaning no addictions, because people who have addictions are bad with money. Money is the number one reason for divorce, plain and simple.
I'm trying to help him go back to school. If he wanted to do it, he would be doing it on his own already. There would be no need for you to do any of that. He's a grown, able-bodied man. The only thing that he is not is willing. And you doing everything for him and playing mommy number two is not going to make.
Yeah, what they're doing is mothering these guys. They're just mothering men, right? It's like a woman who buys a dog just to be the baby. It's like, bitch, put him on the ground, let him walk. It's not a baby, it's a pit bull.
Can be willing to do anything. All you're doing is building him up out of your league. That's all you're doing. You're building him up for the next woman.
You're
getting
like,
him on his.
You're like a coach and you're sponsoring this guy, you know? So it's kind of like, nah, dude, like, find someone who's ready for you. Plain and simple. Find someone another woman built up.
So he can walk into the arms of another woman. You don't, in this game with men, if you're going to play this game with men, let me tell you the rules of the game, okay? You indeed will not be reciprocated with the work that you put in to have a man and to build him up. You will not be reciprocated because.
And they're not going to, like, reciprocate it to you because of the burden of gratitude. The guys don't give a fuck about that. If you like me when I was a bum, then I am not going to like you when I'm a star. If you like me when I was at my lowest, then that means I could do better. That's how people think. Like, they're like, you like me when I was that? Yo, hell no, I'm not going to be with you. You get what I mean? It's kind of backwards, but that's just how people work.
See, you're building him up. And
let me see. Did I ever do that to someone? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever done that. No, I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever let a woman mother me. Like I've always been pretty responsible, not responsible. I've always been pretty like I took accountability. I was the one to push the women away. I'm like, look, girl, I'm toxic. Like you don't want me. You don't want me in your life. I'm the one who's toxic, you know? And because at least for me, I don't want to waste people's time. But you know what? Some guys don't give a fuck about wasting your time. They really don't.
You're building his ego up too. And now other women are noticing him. And men live for validation because they don't get any validation. So the little smile, you ever hear that when men are just like, you will smile at a man, and because you smile at a man, they think that you like them.
Yeah, 100%. Like you like our photo. I'll be like, yo, dude, this girl from Timbuktu like my photo, man. She wants my dick. You know, that's what guys think. You fucking blink at them the wrong way and they'll think you want them. That's how guys think. You know what I mean?
That's because they don't get any validation. So they don't understand to take verbal cues and nonverbal cues from people to understand that there's a difference between just smiling because you're nice and like actually smiling because you're attractive.
Look, women are better at this than men, right? A woman can tell when a woman is being friendly a little bit more than when a woman is being flirtatious. But a guy, ladies and gentlemen, one crack of that smile, I think, yo, She wants this real bad because we're thirsty creatures, right? We're thirsty for any type of validation, and most guys don't get validated. They don't even get looked at by women most of the time. Like guys will go a whole year walking the street. Not one woman that they like will make eye contact. He'll look at them, but the woman will not make eye contact. Guys, or sometimes, unfortunately, and some of my clients experience this, some guys will never get looked at their whole lives. The only time they get looked at is when the girl's friend is behind them. It's honestly, yo, people have no idea how bad some guys have it. They really have it really bad, and it's like it's important that they learn how to approach and get a girlfriend, because guys that are not good with women are dangerous. Guys for example, a guy that's friend zoned by a woman he wants to be with, that guy will be very manipulative. He'll lie to her a lot. He'll exaggerate traits about himself. Like guys in the friend zone have no morality. They'll lie to your ass because they really want you. You know, like these guys, even the guys that don't get women are manipulative.
Attracted to the person. Quit doing stuff for these men, okay? Quit doing stuff for them. It's not you suffering and you bending over backwards and you people pleasing and you over functioning and doing all this stuff thinking that it's going to pay off. I'm here to tell you it's not going to fucking pay off, okay? If it does pay off, it's going to pay off in like 10 years. And are you really willing to keep pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring into a man?
This is a Renaissance fucking building, like a pyramid, years to build. Like that's too much. You're putting too much value on this person. If I have to, like for example, if I'm seeing a girl or even a friend of mine and I like her, I'm gonna give it 3 months. If she don't like me after 3 months, I'm just gonna be friends with her. Like there has to come a point. There has to be limits. There has to be. You can't just be a prisoner of hope like your whole life. It doesn't work that way.
For 10 years just to say what? He married you? Like, what is this big grandiose prize that you guys are supposed to be putting all this work into? Like, come on. Especially if you're built as a woman already, you built yourself as a woman and a grown, able-bodied man is coming to you to help him. No, okay? We don't.
The more you do for a man, the more he will resent you.
I could tell this girl's toxic. South Bronx, fucking Timberlands. You know, lives with her mom and dad, but she's still fucking toxic. Like she gives me like hold my earrings type of vibes.
They are down, and you try to lift them up. He will resent you for it because he see you as above him. They will envy you for doing for them what they couldn't do for themselves. This is why you don't build no man. Women have lost their lives, literally, trying to hold a man down.
He's easy there fucking Hannibal Lecter. Like, God damn, yo, she got the crazy eyes. Am I right or wrong?
And build him. And give him some confidence, some money, somewhere to stay, a car to drive. Women have lost their lives. So women stay in your femininity. Just exist. Don't build him. Because when he reaches his full potential,
she deserves this music.
When he reaches his prime years, his 40s, his 50s, or whenever he come into a significant amount of money, if he win a lottery, baby, he going for his dream girl. I was watching a show a couple weeks back where this woman played the lottery. She was married. She played the lottery. I think won $20 million. She split the lottery ticket with her husband.
Well,
you know what he did?
No, bitch, you ain't the
he left her for a younger woman. And you know that younger.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Okay, she's going psycho mode, but I completely understand her point of view because that's wild. That's wild. That's wild as hell, man. You don't split it in half with your husband. If you win the lottery, you give him 10%. Just to shut him up. That's why money ruins relationships. That's why winning the lottery leads to divorce. Like winning the lottery causes people more problems than good.
Women end up doing, He actually ended up sleeping with her sister. This man was disloyal, totally corrupt. He ended up sleeping with her sister, and her boyfriend unalived him. This is a true story. But before the money, he was a hard worker at a postal service, a mailman, a faithful man. But when money came into the picture, it changed him.
It reveals him. That's why people say, when men start making more money, they usually start dating younger women. That, like, across all boards, people. That means your daddy, your mommy, your uncle, all of them. If he's a fucking 30-year-old guy and he's dating a 29, when he makes more money, he's going to go for that 25, 26. You know? Like, that's just, you know? Like, because guys see women, you know, as a status symbol. And in fact, it's actually true. When a guy dates an attractive woman, he receives a crazy boost in his sexual market value. But when a guy dates a woman who's below him, he gets more dinged. Like, he gets like more, he loses social points, as opposed to a woman dating an ugly guy. She don't lose social points. It just means he got some, it just means he's funny or some shit like that, or he's famous. You know, when you see a hot girl with an ugly guy, you assume like that ugly guy is someone. But when you see a hot guy with an unattractive woman, you don't assume positive traits about her. You just think he can't do better. I mean, at least guys. That's how guys think. You may not think that way, but that's how guys think.
And that's the reason why a lot of men are still in their woman life, is because they haven't touched their prime years. They haven't touched some money yet. But you will see. And even the lady, the wife who wanted the lottery, she said, I wish I would have never won because I lost my husband. It destroyed my marriage. I didn't know he...
Or better yet, you should have just shut the hell up about winning. What the hell is your problem? Don't you know? What makes you think this was any different? Let me tell you something. If Father Alex wins the lottery, y'all would never find out. You guys will never find out if Father Alex wins the lottery. In fact, y'all going to wake up and say, Father, channel not found. Because Father Alex fucking ran away with that money, man. Oh my fucking God, Father Alex has no dignity. Shut the fuck up, Melissa.
It was going to change. So here she is. She done won $20 million. And she wanted her marriage, her husband, but he didn't want her no more. He felt like he could do better than her. And it cost him his life. And so this is why I tell women, don't build them.
Tear them down? Is that what you're trying to say? Tear them down?
His life ain't together. That should be an automatic turnoff.
Yeah, because it's a sign, it's a reflection of who he is, my love. If he's not ready, you're not going to make him ready. It's not the first day of school, boo-boo.
If he try to come into your life, why is he searching for love? A lot of people not looking for love. They looking for help. So if his money ain't right, what could he possibly want out of you? Like, what's the motive?
Emotional support? Yo, first of all, look, man, there's something about, anytime I see a sister with blonde hair, man, I just think, fighting, people. Every time I saw a fight in school, they have blonde hair. I'm like, you dye that hair. There's something about that. Or even red hair. Jesus Christ. The red hair is the toxic ones, right? She's on her way to be toxic. But look, man, people, listen, man. Y'all can't be looking for a guy to build up. Like, we're not fucking real estate investors, all right? You got to find someone who is completely ready for you right now. Not tomorrow, not in a week, but right now.
He wants you to build him up for the next woman. Why he done took your best years, your prime years. He done took that away from you because you was building him. In your 20s and 30s, you building him. Mm-hmm. But baby, when he get to his prime, he going for the woman who stayed in her femininity. The woman who prioritized beauty and fitness. Mm-hmm. The woman who put herself first. Who loved herself.
Mm-hmm. Who wasn't going to wait for you I'm not gonna say, yo, like when you're ready, I'll be here. No, when you're ready, I'm gonna move on with my life. But when you're ready, find out if I'm ready for you. Find out if I'm available for you. Because it's just you're putting all of your eggs in one basket. That's all you're doing.
Come on now. Self-love will save you every time. If you tap into that self-love, you will be able to walk away. Oh, this don't serve me. Hold on. I'm not benefiting in this relationship. I'm pouring out. Where's the reciprocity? I poured into you. Where's my return? I'm not getting it. I'm out. I wish you the best.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all wait until kids are involved.
That's what I tell people, man. If after 2 or 3 months they don't want a relationship, if after 2 or 3 months they don't feel the way you want them to feel about you, if after 2 or 3 months they are not ready emotionally, financially, you got to move on and make sure to find out their debt and their criminal record. Like y'all don't check that shit, man. You know, like honestly, you guys don't check that shit. Like, look at her, she's on. Yo, she's about to say, "Hold my earrings." Yo, like. Wait, let me take a screenshot of this. We're gonna use this as a thumbnail. I'm sorry, girl. I know you're gonna hate me for this, but we're using this as a screenshot. Sorry, girl. It's how Father Alex works, man. In fact, let me take a screenshot for the thumbnail. Let's continue.
Years are invested, hearts are shattered and broken. Then you leave, and then you're broken, and it's gonna take you a while for your healing because you didn't leave when this man was using you. Mm-hmm. You gotta leave early. You can't stay. You can't give him no child. My longest relationship I ever been in was 13 months, literally 13.
Okay, well, I don't judge, but that's what an avoidant does. So we got to take it with a grain of salt. Like you guys should take my advice with a grain of salt, because like my perspective comes from a place of like not trauma, but trauma. You know what I mean? Like that's the only way. That's the only perspective that I have. Not the only perspective, but you know what I mean. Her again? Like, there you go, a brother.
Some of y'all building these men up for the next woman. All the sacrifices, all the work, all the hard nights, all the tears, all the fixing, all the correcting, all the tolerating, all the teaching. You are doing all this just for this man to give that to the next girl, the next girl, the next girl. You think you're going to be the reward, you're going to reap the reward of your hard work, and you never do. It's the next girl that receives that. All that effort you putting into that man, he going to give it to the next girl. You know why? Because he does not want to fix the damage he caused of you building him up. It's going to be growth pain in that.
And also he's going to say, yo, you accepted a bum. How am I going to stay with you? You got to get yourself another one.
Process. It's going to be breakdowns. It's going to be crying. It's going to be infidelity. It's going to be lying. All these different trusts that he's destroyed, all the different bruises he's left on your heart. Who want to stay in a relationship with a person they broke? You think these men are loyal, but they not. I keep telling y'all.
The more you do for a man, the more he will resent you. When they are down, and you try to lift them up.
We don't have to build with a man anymore. That is totally optional. Just because a man wants that doesn't mean that's what he's going to get. Make sure that you know and he knows that that's not you. And it will never be you. So don't even think about trying to change you. Because a lot of men will try to work on you and change you so that they don't have to improve your life. So they just bring more mediocrity or, drama or, struggle to your life. You don't need that. So only go for guys that can improve your life. That should be something on your list of standards. If this man cannot improve my life, then I can't deal with him or date him or do anything. Okay. So put that on your list of standards because it's not something that, a lot of people think about, but they should.
Do you know what's one of the dumbest things you could do as a woman? Build a man for another woman. Wasting years of your life.
This white girl got some sister in her, man. You could tell.
Do you know what's one of the dumbest things you
So-
could do as a woman? Build a man for another woman. Wasting years of your life focusing on him and building him and glowing him up rather than building yourself. And then one day he leaves you for someone else who did none of that stuff for him. Now you might be watching this and you think, Anna, this is common knowledge. I would never build a man for a different woman. Are you sure? Because why are you always picking up the phone? Why are you always cooking? Why are you always cleaning? Why are you always checking in with him? Why do you always make him the protein shake after he's been to the gym? You always have to check in with
Let him make the protein shake. Jesus Christ. Like, the issue with this advice is that it could go a little too far, right? Like, it could go a little too far.
him how he's feeling, if he slept okay, if he's eaten. Why are you shopping with him and putting together an entire new wardrobe, buying him shoes, clothes, having an entire glow up, putting together an entire new wardrobe and skincare routine? Because let me ask you this, for what? Why are you putting all this energy into him? This is a grown-ass man. He can look after himself. He can cook himself. He can clean himself. He can fold his own laundry. If he needs a t-shirt, he can go to the shops and buy it himself. If he uses a
Hey, who the hell is this white lady telling them women not to make us coffee from time to time? What the hell is her problem? Tyrone comes home sometimes and he needs his protein shake. How is Tyrone gonna get muscular if nobody helps him with his protein shake? Ladies, y'all gotta be careful with women like this. Yeah, that's right. Tyrone doesn't appreciate women like this. Anyways, I gotta go to my kids. All right, let's keep listening to this.
and body wash, let him use that. Do a glow up on yourself, but instead you're choosing to put that entire focus and energy on him. You're making him the black cat and you end up in the golden retriever role chasing and pursuing him. The more you do for him, the more desperate and needy you look because he knows you're trying to overcompensate. You're trying
Listen,
to get
lady, you don't know what the hell you are talking about. Show me your family. Show me your husband. Show me your kids. Yeah, that's right. Tyrone got a family because his woman takes care of him, and he takes care of his family. Anyways, I gotta go. Goddamn. I gotta work out. Sorry, people.
his approval through your actions. The less you do for him, the more he's gonna do for you. The less you come his way and you pull away just ever so slightly, he is forced to come your way. Stop giving yourself up for him and wasting your precious time.
Yeah, don't. Okay, I just say stop giving yourself up too soon. Stop giving yourself up too easily. I prefer for you to make him struggle a little bit. Don't give up your
On
time
this planet.
so quickly.
You are building a man for another woman. Let your man build himself. Stop giving yourself up for this man. This is a grown-ass man. He can look after himself, period.
Anyways, people, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one and want to talk to me so that you could get some coaching, click on the description down below, and there you'll be able to talk to me individually. Bye-bye.